Hey guys, it's Joe and it's time for a Pocket with Joe. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys got my post earlier about the Detroit Red Wings grabbing them on that puck line +1.5. I hope you guys sprinkled on that money line as well. And I know we saw a couple people jumping on that reverse puck line. Now, I really hope you joined me on Sports Grid. We hit that reverse puck line. We also hit the over 7.5 when it was +152. Money-making game for the Detroit Red Wings with the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins, remember, they locked up the Atlantic last night. They're in a fade position again on Tuesday, taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. I really do think this is another opportunity for a team that wants to go out with some pride to get the win over a Boston Bruins team that kind of is they are cemented into the Atlantic, got that first win in the Atlantic. So watch for that, you guys, looking at situations where the Boston Bruins are in a situation where they're playing a lesser team. Now, when they do face those harder teams, definitely look for them. They are a bet on in that situation. Now, there is a game in progress right now as the New York Rangers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We just saw the first goal come in here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So going into this game, we were looking at the New York Rangers. Let me just see what the lines were. The New York Rangers were -102, -118 for the Pittsburgh Penguins, total 6.5. And looking at some live betting lines right now, if you still think the Rangers can win this game, they're +230 here. Now, I caution you with the New York Rangers. They do struggle in Pittsburgh, which it's one of those question marks of why they struggle in this location, but they are 2-8 in their last 10 meetings in Pittsburgh. These teams are going to face each other a couple times over the next week. So I believe they face each other 3 times in the next week. I do think this is a game where we can see the Penguins get the win. I do think this one goes to OT, though. I think this is a really tight one to that win. Defensively, the Rangers do have the stronger team. What I'm expecting to see in this one is sort of a 3-2 style game here with the Rangers up and the last minute pulling of the goalies here. Hang on, my dog is licking his foot. Traffic, stop. It was really grossing me out. I apologize, you guys. What I really do expect to see here is Pittsburgh to pull their goalie. This one go 3-3, go into OT. Taking this one to overtime is +360 here. However it comes, I really do think overtime is applicable. This is a battle of the Metro, you guys. Both of these teams want the win. Now, I do think the Rangers are the stronger team, like I said. I could see them getting the win. So if you're liking the Rangers here, jumping on them here on the money line is +215, but they are in Pittsburgh, which they struggle. So that's what I'm liking with that game. I do think this one goes over the 6.5. If you haven't bet it yet, though, you've lost the best of the number. The over now is -142 with the Penguins scoring that first goal. Wait a couple of minutes. If we don't see a goal, we will see this line drop. So that's what we want to do. We want to get the best of value for our money here. Looking at the next game on the board, we have the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the St. Louis Blues. Vegas coming in here at -152 on the money line. The St. Louis Blues +126. Total 6.5, juice to that under at -114. Now, if you like Vegas for a big win, -1.5 on that puck line is +150. St. Louis Blues +1.5 is -182. So no value on the St. Louis Blues there. Vegas is on the back-to-back. We've seen them make us incredible plus money. They've made it, the last 2 wins they've got have made us perfect, beautiful plus money in both of those situations. So coming off that nice big win. Now, the last time they played the St. Louis Blues, they got a 5-4 win here. They had a complete shutout last night over the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina on the look ahead, taking on the New Jersey Devils today, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it was a perfect opportunity with Vegas with that plus money. Now, looking at Vegas on no rest. They're 0-4 in their last 4 games, playing on no days rest. But they're coming in to face the St. Louis Blues, who has sold off basically everyone and their mothers on this team. This isn't a team I want to back. Even at +128, I don't want to get on a side of the St. Louis Blues in this game. If I was going to bet anything in this one, I'd have to look at the over. We got strong trends to that over. And if the Blues come out firing, find the back of the net, which they haven't been phenomenal at this season against the Vegas Golden Knights, should have tired legs defensively. What they're able to do, the Carolina Hurricanes, they're going to have tired legs in this one. Limiting the Carolina Hurricanes to no goals in that game was absolutely insane. Remember how strong Carolina is offensively, defensively. They're leading the Metro as of right now for a reason. This team is phenomenally strong. Vegas catching them in a look-ahead spot. I do think we see the over hit in this one. You could look at Vegas's team total. Hitting that over, I think, is a better way to take this because I don't have any trust in the St. Louis Blues. So that is where I'm going. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday already. Happy daylight savings time, you guys. Also, it's been a crazy busy morning. I am so glad you crushed it with Vegas with me. It was beautiful, beautiful plus money. So let's make some more plus money today. The next game on the board, we got to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. Now, both these teams coming out of their games yesterday with different results. Carolina coming out, getting shut out by Vegas. They lost that one. They really were in a look-ahead position. Now, Ranta expected in goal for them tonight. He's got a 2.32 goals against average. He's been day-to-day as of late with undisclosed issues. So I'm a little worried here for Carolina in this matchup. We got a total now of 6.5. Smith expected here for the New Jersey Devils. He has been really strong. Limited games, so 1.91 goals against average. You're looking at kind of Allmark's numbers here, just not Allmark's time on the ice. That's the Boston Bruins goalie, but you're looking at solid numbers here for Smith. Now, when I look at the New Jersey Devils, they did get the win last night over the Montreal Canadiens. It was a 3-1 win, but it was Montreal. They still did not bring their A game in that one. So I do expect them not to be too tired in this one. Now, looking at how Carolina does in New Jersey is what I'm looking at here. Carolina has not been strong in New Jersey. They're sitting 2-5 in their last 7 meetings in New Jersey. 5-1 in the last 6 overall, though, so they are really strong against New Jersey, but just not in this arena. The home team has been so strong. Home ice has been major between these two, going 11-4 in the last 15 meetings for the home team. I really do think that the New Jersey Devils get this win today. We're getting them here. Let me just make sure no lines have moved. It's still sitting at -110. But I know we have strong defenses. I think this one goes to the over 6.5. We're getting that at plus money at plus 106. I know all what we've seen out of these teams defensively points to that under. Divisional matchup points to the under. I just don't see it happening in the Devils winning. If Carolina's to get the win, this one stays under the 6.5. They control this game defensively. For the New Jersey Devils to win this one, they have to bring their offensive game and they have to absolutely light up Ranta and his net to get this win. So I'm on the over 6.5. Like I said, plus 106 for the over here. I really do think we're going to get explosive offense in this game. We look at the New Jersey Devils. They're averaging that 3.54 goals per game, and they're lighting up the net, averaging 34.6 shots on goal. Carolina as well, lighting up the net, averaging 35.1. Smith's not going to be able to hold as strong against the Carolina Hurricanes. He's faced teams that do not get as many shots on goal. So I do think this is a prime opportunity to ride that over 6.5. I wish it was still at 6 where it opened, but I do think we see 7 goals in this one. Carolina's going to be frustrated after their offensive production yesterday. So I'm looking at a couple of players here. Don't look at the shots on goal. Even though both of these teams have high ability to get those shots on goal, we got to look at what the defenses do. Both defenses are so strong at limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots, with Carolina coming in at 25.8 and the New Jersey Devils at 28.1. So I don't want to look at shots because I think the shots will be limited, but high danger shots. So I'm going to look at players who I think can get goals. So if you like Carolina here, you got to look at Sebastian Aho. We know how strong he has been. I think he finds the back of the net tonight. Now, looking at the New Jersey Devils, I got to ride with Jack Hughes. We know he's been a moneymaker for us, and Timo Meier also has been strong since joining this team. I think between the two of them, you can look at the points and the assists for these guys. I think they come in tonight. So hold your breath if you're going to ride the Devils with me at -110. This is going to be a stressful game. Both of these teams are going to give it their all. Hold your breath also if you're riding that over 6.5, because it's not going to come easy in this game. Goals are going to come at a premium, but I do think they come in. I do think this is another one that could push to overtime. Need a miracle 2 nights. Michael, you should have joined us over on Sports Grid today. We had some great live bets for those games. Head on over to Sports Grid after here. The live betting that we've been able to do on Sports Grid, I won't be on, but great guys. I believe Harrison is on right now. I'm not sure who he is co-hosting with, but there's been some money. The Rangers have tied it up, you guys, 1-1 right now. As a Wings fan, you did sprinkle a little on Boston to win after the second. It's okay. It is it's a fun Sunday. I can't even talk. There we go. Anyway, I've been talking way too long, as you guys know, for anyone who joined me on Sports Grid for the last four hours there. Let's look at the next matchup here. We have the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the Winnipeg Jets coming in as the dog on the road at +155, -188 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another high total of 6.5. Connor Hellebuck is an expected Ricci is expected here for the Winnipeg Jets, and the Tampa Bay Lightning expected to start Brian Elliott. With backup goalies in here, with the offensive production that we've seen out of the Tampa Bay Lightning, I do think this is another one we could look at the over. I really hate when I'm looking at a lot of these games to that over, because we know how easily with strong defenses like the Winnipeg Jets defense, we can look. But backup goalies in this one, again, I do think we look at the over. I really do think this is a tight game, though, 4-3 style of game again, but Winnipeg on that puck line +1.5 is -155. So I just can't get there. Braden Point has been so phenomenal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I actually wanted to look at his goals tonight. So we're just going to pull that up and see what we can see here for Braden Point. Looking at Braden Point's assists and points, his points over a half, we definitely cannot get there. It is -260. So I'm going to look at Braden Point for the anytime goal tonight. That's coming in at +120. Now, Stamkos, I'm not sure if he is going to be in the lineup. And if anyone has seen anything on Stamkos, let me know. My book is showing that I can bet him tonight, but with how he left the last game, tweaking his knee, I'm not sure if we'll see him out on the ice. So this game is really going to come down to a couple of things here. If Stamkos is not on the ice tonight, Winnipeg has had struggles in Tampa, but Winnipeg and Tampa both on that back-to-back. Tampa really struggles on that back-to-back, where the Winnipeg Jets have been strong on that back-to-back, winning their last 4 off a back-to-back. If Stamkos is out, I'm going to take a chance on the Winnipeg Jets here at +155. Don't call me crazy. I do think they have an opportunity to get this win without Stamkos on the ice. They did win back in January. It was a 4-2 win. I believe, though, that was in Winnipeg, and Connor Hellebuck was in goal. And we know Connor Hellebuck in goal at home is a solid don't bet against. But in this situation, backup goalies here, I could see Winnipeg pulling it off without Stamkos on the ice, but I'm not willing to risk it until I know if Stamkos will be on the ice for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another thing to look at again, Braden Point for that anytime goal for the Lightning in this one. The over 6.5, the trends do point to the over in Tampa. 5 of the last 6 meetings hitting that over. We did have the one push. Can't push tonight at a 6.5. So it will be interesting to see. Now we've got to talk about my poor Calgary Flames taking on the Ottawa Senators tonight. 9 o'clock Eastern matchup here. Markstrom expected here for the Calgary Flames. And I want to look at his save shots on goal. Now Calgary coming in as the favorite, which is kind of crazy that they're such big favorites here. I'm seeing Calgary at -188. I know the Ottawa Senators played yesterday, losing that one to Vancouver. This team is digging deep. So Calgary to cover a puck line is definitely a scary situation. -1.5 is 128 on that puck line. Not enough value for me to jump on my Calgary Flames. The Ottawa Senators plus 1.5 at minus 154. I'd rather throw that into a parlay. We know the Sens are playing the best. They're trying, they're fighting, they're giving it their all. Calgary has had so many struggles. We lost to the Ducks just on Friday night. It was abysmal. Abysmal, is that the word? No. Tell me the word. It's on the tip of my tongue. I've been talking too long, you guys. It was terrible what we saw out of the Ducks, or out of the Calgary Flames versus the Ducks on Friday night. Calgary should have been able to pick up that win. Of course, they got the 2 road wins against teams that are really solid, beating the Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild. They return home. They cannot get a win on home ice as of late to save their lives. So I do think this one comes down to Jacob Markstrom, how strong he is in goal. And we have him confirmed here. Jacob Markstrom over 24.5 save shots on goal is definitely what I want to take. Like I keep saying, Jacob Markstrom has been playing better since, and that's a minus 126, you guys. So it is juice. He has been playing better since we've seen the birth of his child. Looking at the Ottawa Senators, we know they're going to get these shots. Now, Calgary really strong at limiting their opponents. They have been doing phenomenal at that. So it's going to take a lot out of Ottawa. But this is an Ottawa team that digs deep. Now, I do think Calgary could take the first period with the Ottawa Senators coming in off that back-to-back. It has bit us as of late, though. So I'm a little shy, a little hesitant of it. I do like the over 1.5 in the first period, the over 1.5 coming in at minus 136 in the first period between the Ottawa Senators and the Calgary Flames. And I just want to pull up the Calgary Flames in that first period on that puck line. Just bear with me. Taking Calgary minus 0.5 goal in that first period is plus 136. And that's where I'm going to hit Calgary, because we know Calgary can get up. We know how Calgary can let these games go. The Ottawa Senators are not going to stop fighting. So give me Jacob Markstrom over 24.5 save shots at minus 126 for the Calgary Flames, and Calgary over 0.5 goal on that puck line in the first period, plus 136 for this game. Now looking at the full game, I could see this one being another opportunity for OT, and that's why I like the over 6.5. Neither of these teams is going to give up. Calgary is going to have to get up in this game, and I think Ottawa comes back. So that's why I'm looking at OT here, plus 370 for this one to go to overtime. Remember, these teams, if it's tied up, while they want the win, the ability to go to overtime is so easy, and they both pick up points if they go to overtime. Calgary will pick up 2 if they win in overtime. The Ottawa Senators, if they win or lose, will pick up 1. So it's really interesting looking at the situations and how they will play out those last couple of seconds of a game. So for myself, that's where I'm going. I do think the Sens keep it tight, though. I do think this was within 1 goal. That line on the puck line has dropped. It was minus 165 plus 1.5 earlier. It's now plus 1.5 at minus 155. So I do think that is an option for parlay reasons. Like I said, 1 goal game in this one. Could the Senators win? Absolutely. Calgary not playing strong on their home ice. A record for the season, 15, 14, 2, and 1 on the season on that straight up. 9 and 23 at home on that puck line. That's disgusting, you guys. Calgary not playing strong at home on that puck line. Look at the Ottawa Senators on the puck line. 18 and 13 on the road on that puck line. 37 and 27 overall on that puck line. So the Sens plus 1.5, minus 165. I don't care. Or minus 155. I don't care if they're on a back-to-back. I think they keep this one tight. The underdog between these two has also gone 6-2 in the last 8 meetings. I really hope Calgary does not lose tonight. The value is on the Ottawa Senators with that beautiful plus money. The value also on that over 6.5. Again, 4-3 style game. Overs hit in 3 of the last 5 meetings. 1 has gone over, or 1 has gone under, and 1 has pushed. So it's what I'm liking. Plus 370 to go to OT. Abysmal, Kelly. Thank you. You knew what we're trying to say. I tell you, when I talk this much in a day, it's just crazy talk. And just wait till I add a glass of wine and start watching these games and sweating them out later. It's a good thing I am not live later. Abysmal, you guys. I appreciate you all so much for throwing that out. But Kelly, you said it exactly how I read it, abysmal. So thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you for helping me be able to talk on this beautiful Sunday. Okay, we got a couple more games to go over. We got the Minnesota Wild taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Now the Wild coming in here sitting second in the Central, taking on the Coyotes who are seventh in the Central. Let me just make sure no line movement. And I also just want to check what we're seeing for goalies here. We are seeing minus 200 for the Wild, so they have dropped 10 points, and plus 164 here for the Arizona Coyotes. This total now at 5.5. We are seeing Gustafsson expected or confirmed in goal for the Minnesota Wild. Connor Ingram expected here for the Arizona Coyotes. I do think this is one, looking at that total of 5.5, it's hard to take a Wild team to go over this total. Their defense has been so phenomenally strong. They've been really strong in Arizona as well. That being said, the Arizona Coyotes have been really playing nicely at home. They've been covering that puck line at home, going 18-12 on the puck line at home this season. Taking them plus 1.5 is right around that minus 145 mark. I don't hate it because I do think this is a super low scoring game where the Coyotes, if they even put one goal in, do enough to keep this one tight. So they have covered, hang on, my dog is licking his foot again. Traffic, stop. Sorry, I apologize. He was just outside in the snow, so he doesn't like his feet dirty. When we look at the Coyotes, they have covered the puck line against opponents on that second leg of a back-to-back when they're an underdog in their last 7. So I do think this is an opportunity for the Coyotes to keep it tight. There is some value here. We have seen the home team actually win 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, with the Wild going 6-2 in the last 8 meetings in Arizona. So that really does wipe it out. The Wild able to get the wins in Arizona. I'm not too worried about that. We do trend to the over between these two, but having faith in the over in this one when the Wild are so strong at locking down their opponents, I just don't want to take the over. I actually am just going to look at that first period. Joe Ranieri made a good point of taking the first period under 1.5, and I do like that as well. The under 1.5 between the Minnesota Wild and the Arizona Coyotes coming in at minus 116. So I think that is a very solid bet to take in this one. I do think the Wild get the win in here, but I don't want to take them on that puck line. Yes, they're strong on the road on the puck line, 17-14 on the road on the puck line, but I don't think this is high enough scoring for myself to find any value in taking the favorite covering that puck line. So that is where I'm going to go with that one. Last night, they went up and over to juicy at minus 140. Minnesota Wild in regulation. What is the regulation price in this one? I definitely don't think this one is a game that goes to overtime. So taking the Minnesota Wild in regulation, minus 135, I'm seeing over FanDuel. So I do like that. I think this is a good opportunity to make that money there. Just looking at the Wild to get the win. Probably better than taking the Arizona Coyotes on that puck line because we could see a 2-0 game here for the Minnesota Wild. If Arizona pulls their goalie, they get the empty netter. We saw the empty netter come with the Detroit Red Wings against the Boston Bruins. So we know these empty netters can come in. They can either win your bet or screw up your bet. So the Wild in regulation, I don't see the Coyotes pulling this one off. Then the last game on the board, we got the Nashville Predators taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Now, the Nashville Predators sitting a 5th in the Central. They need every single win that they can get. And I do think they picked this one up today. Like again, expected in goal, and John Gibson expected here for the Anaheim Ducks. Now, looking at the Ducks, 11-16-2 at home. They don't have a home record where I'm going to be afraid to bet against them. The Nashville Predators, they've been solid on that puck line on the road as well. 17-15 on the road on the puck line. Yes, in some of these situations, they have been the underdog, keeping it tight. But I do think I am willing to flirt with the Nashville Predators here for a nice big 2-goal win. I don't have faith in the Anaheim Ducks. They're plus 130 here. On the money line for the Anaheim Ducks. And we've got minus 156 with Nashville Predators. If we grab the Nashville Predators, laying 1.5 in this one at plus 160, I think it's the way to go. I really do like what we've seen out of the Preds as of late. This team has been digging deep. Like I said, they need to get every single win they can get. Now, when we look at the Predators, when they come off a game where they haven't been able to score, they're 4-0 in their last 4 after scoring 2 goals or less in their previous game. Versus the Western Conference, nice and strong, winning 5 of their last 7. Versus the Pacific, nice and strong, winning 5 of their last 7. On the road, nice and strong, winning 5 of their last 7. When we look at this matchup versus each other, yes, the home team has had the advantage, but I'm not buying it here with the Anaheim Ducks. The favorite has won the last 5 meetings, so that kind of negates the home team edge here. And the Predators winning those last 5 meetings, being the favorite in all of those situations. I think the Preds can cover the puck line, and I'm just going to pull up my favorite, actually. If you guys are looking at stats, just let me, I can't think and type either. Predators and the Ducks. If you're looking for stats, looking at these head-to-head matchups and how teams have done in the previous, check out, I will drop it here actually in the chat. It's a head-to-head matchup site, and I absolutely love it. It will show me all of those head-to-head matches and how they have done. So they have, up until today, played 63 games, average of 5.7 goals per game, with the Nashville Predators coming up and averaging 3.1 goals per game, and the Anaheim Ducks averaging that 2.7. So the last time they played, we know the Nashville Predators blew them away 6-1. But looking at the previous 2, there was a 2-1 game in there back in November where the Nashville Predators only won by 1. The game prior to that, they covered the puck line, winning at 4-1 in Anaheim. The game prior to that as well, in Anaheim, not covering the puck line, but still getting the 3-2 win. I do think this is one. The Nashville Predators have way too much to play for here. I'm going to take them to cover that puck line. Can the Anaheim Ducks be pesky? Absolutely. But I don't see them being able to do enough in this one. Now, they are coming in 1 day's rest, but versus teams with winning records, this team really has struggled, and they struggled at home. They've only won 3 of their last 10 games at home. It's not a team that I want to back. So in this matchup, you guys, give me the Preds. Give me the Preds to get a nice big win. I expect them to win this game 4-1, even 3-1. We know the Predators aren't huge on scoring these goals, but the Anaheim Ducks are giving up every opportunity, every chance. John Gibson, he does try his best to limit these ones here, but we're just not seeing it. The end of the first period just finished between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I tell you, the ice is scrappy today. These teams are really fighting it out. So you guys, that is where I'm going with all of these games. The more and more I think about it, the Preds puck line, laying the 1.5 at that beautiful plus, what did we just call it? Plus, I'm going to get this bet in right after. Plus 160 for the Predators here on the puck line for a nice big win here. The Nashville Predators look like they are starting Lankanen in goal. Let me just see if I can get confirmation. You guys will want to look for confirmation before you place this. Let me just see. I do believe in him and what he is able to do. We should see him. Yeah, it's only John Gibson confirmed so far. Saros between the pipes, Saros or Lankanen. I am fine with either Saros or Lankanen in goal. Let me just see one more place to see if I can see a little bit better who they're expected. Give me 1 second, you guys, to pull this up. I'm still seeing Lankanen expected over on my score app. They're normally pretty dead on. Now, he's gone 4-5-1 on the season. He's got a 2.45 goals against average. His save percentage is .925. I do think he has the ability to pull this off. Now, John Gibson coming in 14, 24, and 7. He's got a 3.82 goals against average with a .904 save percentage. He has had 1 shootout win. Now, you got to remember he wasn't their top goalie either, but Forsberg went out, or what's his name went out. We're going to definitely see an interesting matchup here, but the Preds, I don't know. They have struggled to cover that puck line on the second leg of a back-to-back. But this is the Anaheim Ducks. They give up way too many chances. The Predators digging too deep to stay relevant in the playoffs. So I have to ride with the Preds. It's not going to be a parlay bet. That would be a single bet there. Let's just look at what those lines are sitting at right now to jump on that Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins game. With this game tied up right now, we are getting the Pittsburgh Penguins minus 122, minus 104 here for the New York Rangers. Total of 6.5, juice to that over at minus 140. I would still jump in on the over 6.5. I do expect, like I said, this one to go to overtime. We're getting great odds for this one to go to overtime. I think it's 3-3 going into OT. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Pittsburgh Penguins took this one on home ice. Like I said, these teams have a lot of games ahead of them against each other. The next game on the ice, we're just going to do the recap, you guys. The Vegas Golden Knights and the St. Louis Blues, 7 o'clock Eastern. For this one, Vegas coming off a huge win, and this could be a letdown spot. That being said, I'm not going to bet on the St. Louis Blues. There's no way you can't pay me even to put your money on the St. Louis Blues tonight. It's not a team I trust. Now, the St. Louis Blues on the back-to-back are strong. Vegas not strong on a back-to-back. They haven't won any of their last 4 games on that back-to-back. St. Louis, on the other hand, gone 6-2 in their last 8, playing on 0 days rest. Not buying it. I'm not buying the St. Louis Blues today. They have struggled at home. They struggled in a 4-6 situation. They struggled versus teams with winning records. It should be Vegas all day. Depends on Vegas's motivation. They are sitting first in the Pacific right now. And yes, they do need to get this win. They need to lock up the Pacific. It's not an easy division at all. We know how strong Edmonton has been playing. Can they catch Vegas? I don't know, but Vegas needs to bring their A game. I'm leaning on the over 6.5 in this game. I do expect the goals to come in this one. For the parlay, I will take Vegas and the Blues first period over 1.5. I do think the first period is a high scoring one, over 1.5. The Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. Parlay, I'm throwing the Devils on the money line. I really do believe this team can get the win tonight with Schmidt in goal. Home ice, huge advantage here for them. The home team between these two has dominated. I really do think that the New Jersey Devils can take the Metro Division. It's going to be a hard job versus the Carolina Hurricanes. They're going to have to be absolutely phenomenal tonight. The Canes are going to be pissed after getting shut out by Vegas last night. They were saving their game for tonight. This is going to be the best game. Make sure you watch it. Look for fights. I wish we could bet fights in this one. They're going to come. Whoever plays the most disciplined game wins this. Give me the New Jersey Devils to get the win. They won the last matchup 5-3. I do think this one goes over the total because it's such a tight game. I expect while we have top defenses, these goals to come in. There are going to be high danger shots coming out of both sides. Sebastian Aho for the Carolina Hurricanes, if you want to prop bet, and Jack Hughes or Timo Meier for their points and assists in this one. I do think both of those go over. The Winnipeg Jets and the Tampa Bay Lightning for the parlay. Give me the Jets here. Puck line plus 1.5. I do think this is one. The Winnipeg Jets could pull off the win. They're stronger on no rest than the Tampa Bay Lightning. But for me to place the Winnipeg Jets here on the money line, the only way I will do this is this Stamkos goes out. The line's going to move by the time if he is reported out. So we're not going to get the value, and then I won't want to bet it. I do like the plus 1.5 for parlay reasons. At minus 155, I can't bet it straight up. With backup goalies in for both, I got to hit this one over as well. I hate taking so many overs. I think this is an over Sunday. The Ottawa Senators and the Calgary Flames, I lean on the Senators, the plus 1.5 at minus 155 here. That's what I will put on for the parlay at plus 1.5 for the Sens. Calgary just isn't showing me enough to bet them here, even in regulation. It breaks my heart here for my Calgary Flames. They couldn't beat the Anaheim Ducks. They're not beating the teams they need to beat. They go on the road, have fantastic success against 2 really hard teams, and then come home and can't get it done. I can't back Calgary at this price. I do think this one goes to OT. This is another one, just like the Rangers and the Penguins right now. These two teams desperately need the win. OT plus 370, my favorite bet of this game. And I've bet this one a couple times now because I get more confident in it as the day goes on. I want more money on it. I really do think Markstrom has a strong day as well. Markstrom saves shots on goal. And while I do think this one goes over, it's because I think the Ottawa Senators come flying with the shots. Calgary's defense really is strong at limiting those shots on goal. So it's a scary one to take. But Jacob Markstrom's number is just too low for me. He only has to save over 24.5 shots on goal in this game to hit his over -126. I expect, now Calgary's allowing like 28.5-ish, right around there. I expect at least 30 shots on goal. I'm not expecting the Ottawa Senators to sink six of these on Jacob Markstrom. So that over 24.5, I definitely think is in play. It's my favorite prop bet of the day for Jacob Markstrom. He has been playing better since the birth of his child. So that's what I'm liking. Again, I think this one goes to overtime. I think this one goes over the total. Another 4-3 style game here, getting over that 6.5. Now the Minnesota Wild and the Arizona Coyotes, you guys threw out the Wild in regulation. Kelly, you threw that up. I do like it. I think that's probably the better bet of this. I was leaning on the Arizona Coyotes plus that 1.5 at -150 for parlay reasons because we know Coyotes have been digging really hard at home. Home ice has been an advantage, but the Wild also playing strong. More games have been played in Minnesota than in Arizona. Minnesota than Arizona. I wanted to make sure I said it right, and it did. It flowed right. The Arizona Coyotes won the last game 3-2. I can't bet the over with this team or with the Minnesota Wild playing here, even though they trend to that under. Now, I want to look at the Arizona Coyotes team total because if I can get value on their team total under, and it's enough, under 2.5 is -128. I like the Coyotes. And that's what I'm going to throw into the parlay. Under 2.5 for the Coyotes today. I really do not see more than 2 goals. I will be shocked if they get 2 goals in this one. I think this is a 2-0 game for the Minnesota Wild or a 2-1 game. I don't see this being a game that the Coyotes can compete enough. The only way that they get if what I was saying with the Wild, they're going to play a defensive game. That second goal coming like with an empty netter or something like that as the Coyotes try to tie it up. So that's where I'm going with that one. The Nashville Predators, you guys are going to throw the Preds on the money line. You know I love the Preds here on the puck line. I think they come out and exploit all the weaknesses that the Anaheim Ducks have here. So I'm going to ride with that. It's going to be a scary situation, especially when we got a total of 5.5 to expect the Nashville Predators to cover that puck line. But that's what I am liking. The Lightning and the Jets over the first period, over 1.5. Absolutely. I do think we see those goals, backup goalies in that game. Tampa Bay -1.5 at +140. Yeah, wait for Stamkos. And that's my problem. Stamkos makes a huge difference to this team. You're leaning on Vegas. Yeah. See, Vegas on the back-to-backs hasn't been strong. St. Louis, which is so weird. They are strong on the back-to-back. I don't understand why that is. Vegas, their last 4 games on a back-to-back, haven't been able to get the win. St. Louis, correct me if I'm wrong, 6-2 in their last 8 to getting those wins on a back-to-back. So that team is one that gets kind of rusty on rest. If you guys can hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, unknown goalie for Vegas. Let's just see here if we're getting any confirmations yet. Let me just double check here. Oh, yeah. Peretta. I don't know, you guys. I think this is St. Louis. St. Louis all day long. I don't want to step in front of Vegas here, but St. Louis could. Who wants to bet St. Louis, though, and put any money? Why do we not have Jonathan Quick expected here is my biggest question of the day. I'm just seeing what Peretta has not played. He played back in September versus Colorado. He saved 14 goals, allowed in 2. So not very impressive back there versus Colorado. He hasn't played any other games. So he's got a .875 goals against average We know the St. Louis Blues just got a big win over the Columbus Blue Jackets versus a rookie goalie there. That was a 5-2 win. Give me the St. Louis Blues here. Give me a risk. Yuck. I hate it. I'm not putting my money there. Not doing it. Okay. I almost talked myself into it. Did you see it? I was like, give me the plus money. And then I'm like, stop chasing the plus money. You guys, favorite bets of the day, Calgary and the Senators to go to overtime plus 370. The Preds on the puck line minus 1.5 at plus 160. You guys know I'm a freaking idiot for this plus money. That is where I'm going. The parlay, Vegas and the Blues. I still love that first period over 1.5. The Devils on the money line, fingers crossed on that one. I think they take the Metro. Carolina is going to give them one hell of a game. The Jets on the puck line plus 1.5. The Senators on the puck line plus 1.5. I'd love to see Calgary get a big win. I don't think they do. They're not strong on that puck line. The Arizona Coyotes under 2.5. Look for the Wild to completely limit them. And the Predators on the money line. That is the parlay. Those are my best bets. You guys, I have only had 3 cups of coffee today. I haven't ate. I'm going to go eat. It's been a day. It's been a long day, but it's been an amazing day. I hope you guys have made some money so far today. I'm going to get back to watching all of these games. It looks like we are still tied up. We went into the second period tied up between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you like the Penguins here, minus 122 for the Penguins, minus 104 for the Rangers. I'm not too big on either side here because the Rangers have struggled in Pittsburgh. I do think the Rangers had the better defense, which could lead them to the win. I do think there was 6.5, though, is completely in play. It's too juicy right now, minus 140. If we get 5 minutes into this game in the second period here and you don't see a goal, this total is going to drop either the price, the juice that you're going to pay, or we're going to see a 6. Watch for that because as soon as that hit the over, we know it can happen. Beautiful plus money on these live betting situations. If you're following college basketball today, Houston is playing absolutely terrible. 6 minutes left in the second half there. They are down. Memphis up 63-55. If you're sweating out Memphis, plus the 5.5 with me, hold your breath because we know Houston is so phenomenally strong. Looking at the Penn State and Purdue doing what Purdue does. I tell you, I don't want to bet against Purdue ever. Purdue was a 7-point favorite going into this, 7.5 on some books. Penn State now down by, 14 points. You can grab them plus 14.5. I took Penn State in the first half. I'm really interested if I covered. They did not cover that first half. I believe it was 4.5. It was 35-27 in that first half. So not making money there, but you guys, plenty of opportunities to make money today. Seriously, if you want to bet these games live, you want to listen to people breaking them down, head on over to Sports Grid. They are live right now, and they will be putting you on some freaking winners. It is Selection Sunday as well. Those brackets come out tonight. I won't be live, but Coach James Young and Ben will be live tonight on Sports Grid. So check that out as well. You guys, I got to eat. I am starving. I might just order some skip the dishes. I cannot find my mouse on my screen to end this show. So we might have like a 5-hour show here. I don't know what we're going to do if I can't find my mouse. I wish you guys all the best in all your bets. Drop below what you are betting today. What you've won. Let's celebrate each other's wins and let's have a freaking fun Sunday doing so, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so very much. Gil, the Devils in the first period and the over 1.5. Absolutely love that. That is going to be the most exciting game on the ice tonight. My Calgary Flames, not too exciting. So, you guys, Arizona under 2. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You guys have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I got a hiccup. At 3:30. 3:30 Eastern, we'll be live tomorrow. It is Monday tomorrow. Happy Daylight Savings. I'm so happy to have Daylight Savings. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.